Welcome travelers from the winding trails. Grab a spot by the hearth and a pint of ale. A brief respite from our noble quest. Lean back in a chair for the Song of Rest. Hello travelers, and welcome to the Song of Rest, a place where our heroes and the deities that guide them gather to share a behind the scenes and behind the screens look at the unfolding adventures in Archipeldia. Gathered before us is the Dungeon Master, Aaron Rollins, and his band of players, Dustin Bleschmidt, Janelle Wilkie, and Chad Stafford. But I'll let them do the talking, and I'll get back to playing.
Well, aren't we usually supposed to do this on the story arc, guys? I'm not sure why we're sitting at this weird cantina.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a little bizarre.
Oh, I didn't know there was a griffin here too.
They're gonna start mimicking our laughs.
Oh yeah, you gotta be careful what you say about these around these Kenku, because they'll get real irritating real quick.
I love Tumbleweed. That's so cute.
Tumbleweed is cute.
You've got a lot of Arizona theme.
Yeah, well, I guess when you guys go to a desert, of course I'm gonna make it here like Arizona, I guess.
No, this was great. I mean, again, look up what those would you call them a cavern?
The Antelope Canyon, right?
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, look up Antelope Canyon pictures. It's amazing place.
If I remember, we'll throw a couple of pictures up on social too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we can do that.
Did we introduce ourselves?
No.
We do that in post.
Oh shit.
Hey, but just as a quick recap, Dustin,
Aaron,
Janelle,
Morgan Freeman.
Hello, everyone.
and Morgan Freeman at the dentist.
I'm getting into character. Sorry.
Welcome to the Song of Ray.
Oh, Kyler's here too. All right, great.
Hi, Chad here.
All right, that's out of the way.
Chad here, played by Adam Driver.
perfect.
It's good soup. Good soup. This cantina has good soup.
Good soup.
But yes, everyone should look up Antelope Canyon and Gila monsters if you haven't seen them before. That's Gila. They are really cool.
They are neat, and they are venomous lizards,
They
if
are.
I'm not mistaken.
Isn't their spit is venomous or something like that?
Yes, venomous saliva.
It's like their saliva is. Yes.
It's like a little teeny tiny Komodo dragon. Not quite, but I think it's a combination of venom and like bacteria. It promotes bacteria as well.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I think they're also like the only venomous lizard that's original to North America or something like that.
Oh.
Yes, that isn't a snake. We got plenty of
He has
those.
Yeah, I got plenty of venomous snakes.
Yeah, they have this very cool black and orange marbling. The face kind of looks like a Godzilla face.
Very.
So yeah, imagine those as people.
Ooh-hoo.
I am so sorry, y'all. Like, I shouldn't have just thrown us all in there. I said this at the end of the episode, but I'm gonna say it again just in case we cut it. I felt so bad because I'm just like, yes, let's just go right in. No problems here. Hi, Tumbleweed. Can you introduce us? We're all friends and family.
So here's the thing. If you hadn't done that, that's exactly what Sherman would have done if he was in charge. Because our boy thinks, like, no one can do wrong until they do.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like Timothy's only experience would be with his own flock. So he wouldn't necessarily know if every flock was like the one he was in. He would just hope that maybe things were different, and seeing like this sort of marketplace would be like, oh, they're actually making relations with other creatures. You know, maybe these guys are different. Maybe they're more friendly. You know, maybe they just don't steal everything on sight until they get kicked out of town.
And I thought about it afterwards too. I'm like, maybe instead of Timothy going first through the caves, I could have had Brandy do that. So all of us are getting tattoos, no regrets on our arms at this bazaar.
No regrets.
Yep.
I would at some point that's a good point. You bring up Brandy, who has been kept snug and safe because we were in some dangerous terrain and dangerous situations, but I maybe in this upcoming arc we'll see some utility Brandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of totally spaced on Brandy when you dove under the ship to do the ice stuff, because she would have been like, water town. Whoa.
Yeah, isn't it? It's an
she'd be
aquatic
swimming
creature,
next to
isn't
me.
it? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I have like a headcanon that if Brandy gets too dry, then she kind of like turns into a crusty mummy version of herself. So she likes the water a lot and she needs to be around it as much as possible.
Oh, I can't wait for that to happen.
So yeah, she might be in danger of that in this next episode.
What's wrong with Brandy? Is she still alive?
Yeah, she's fine. You just need to add water.
I've heard of crustaceans, but this is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
There's another Kenku making that noise in the corner.
Kenku just finishing your sentences for you.
There's this one Kenku that keeps pointing at us. Get out of town.
Oh, so Aaron, I think this also got cut because Chad asked it at the beginning of one of our recordings. Did you plan for us to get shipwrecked a little bit, or is that just because of the lack of perception that happened?
We were done goofing.
There would have been a perception chance to avoid that island, but it was pretty difficult to see because one of the other things I wanted to add to sailing was that, you know, there are just like random things in the ocean that are hard to detect unless you're up in the crow's nest and can look down and see how shallow of a water you're sailing through. And so, you know, he asked Timothy to go up there and keep an eye out, and then he went up there because Flower Cat was up there, and it kind of just turned into a mess. Yeah, it kind of turned into a mess, and so it ended up being that there just wasn't a perception check that would happen, and that the ship would just hit the island. So, yeah, well, I wouldn't say it necessarily was planned. It was more of like a potential event that would happen.
Aaron was all like, they didn't have to fight the Kraken, so rocks.
Well, I had a rock in the end of the last episode that I honestly, when I was thinking about that, I'm like, how would they have avoided that rock if Timothy hadn't climbed up the crow's nest?
Oh, we would have hit that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we would have been messed up.
Yeah, literally in my plan, in my timeline for that was Fracken, Sir Lunox, rock. And
the rock was what did them in.
Welcome to the rock. You were up there, and I was like, holy shit, he actually went up there because Bernice had jumped down to fight the hound creature. So the rock was literally supposed to be, you know, in the middle of all this chaos, there's a potential threat to the ship. But you were up there, so sometimes things work out that way.
I love that we're hanging out with Bernice so much.
Yes.
Me too.
We have two things going on. We're giving Flower Coat a break because she lost her island and she's like a demigod at this point. And now Sherman is playing Will They Won't They, and has unresolved trauma. Hey, D&D, and then I'm really excited to see what hijinks we get into with these Kenku. But I am scared of the Gila folk because if they're anything like their actual real reptile counterparts, we're going to be taking poison damage.
Ooh, good point.
Unless they're chill, like they might just be chill and be like, "Oh hey."
I was so worried when we were kind of doing a long rest. I really Sherman and Bernice were right there watching me, and I had forgotten to just ask them if they knew each other, and I was really hoping for an opportunity, and I'm glad we got to do it while Timothy was there too. And I like that she and Timothy have like a little text chain going.
I love that. Okay, so like it feels like not a lot happened in this episode, but actually a lot did. We have these little hints of backstory that like I want to know more about.
Yeah.
As a player, I want to be like, oh, we got a little taste of some Sherman story, and I want to know more.
I was not ready to be asked about like not prison.
You're never ready.
Definitely not that. Sherman is a horrible liar.
Because he was like, it's better than prison. And Timothy was like, that was never mentioned.
We didn't ask that.
Oh boy. Yeah. I do like the idea though that for a long rest, Sherman didn't sleep. He just nodded his approval.
Yes.
Like, and
just watching me grill my burgers.
Yeah, it is true. Like, Flowerkraut also wouldn't have been able to sleep during this long rest because you're maintaining the water leak. But it's kind of like you guys strung a bunch of short rests together. It might, get really bad if you might start seeing exhaustion take play if you guys don't get actual sleep in the next few hours, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. I gotta say that the whole event of the ship beaching on the islet or however you say that, that was one of those events that I would just throw out there and see how you guys go about resolving it. And I thought the shatter and the freezing water was absolute genius. You guys like coming up with stuff. I can't even think of all the different ways you guys would go about fixing the problem, but the methods you guys did was pretty clever.
I think that's the best thing about D&D in general is just like there is no just one-to-one problem to solution. There's so many different ways that you can go about solving anything, just depending on the characters that you have in your party, what their versatility is, what kind of magic spells they have. So it was like a combination of like practical thinking, we got to get rid of this rock, to magical thinking, Flowerkraut using the freeze thing, and then Sherman just happens to be a craftsman. It was just so funny how those like stars just kind of align. Like we got these three people and they can do this exact situation. And I don't know. Like I think I remember saying it when we were doing it, I'm like, this is so much fun. This is why I love D&D. We're basically pulling like a Superman right now. We're saving the sinking ship by destroying the rock, using ice breath, and then we got someone on the inside fixing the problem. Like, I don't know, man. That was just cool. I love it. I love it when it's just not combat. There's like problems that you have to solve that are like world situations or like real quote unquote real life situations versus like, oh, I got to use fantasy setting to like fight monsters. So like, oh, our ship is sinking. What do we do about it? I like that you threw in like those more practical situations and using our potential non-practical methods of which to fix them.
Yeah.
This one definitely went a lot more smoother than crossing a river, though.
Yeah.
Yes. We've grown so much since then.
You can't give us simplistic tasks. You have to give us some sort of life-threatening situation for us to actually do pretty okay in.
Yeah.
I like the little help action that Bernice did too, where she used her voice to do a little power smash on the rock that Timothy broke.
Yeah, and I'm like when when Dustin said that he was a carpenter, had a carpenter's kit, I had to go to his character sheet. I was like, "There's no way. There's no holy shit. He has a carpenter's kit. What the
odds of this happening?"
Yeah,
and that just goes to show you, everyone. All those tool proficiencies and starting kits and whatnot. Even if you think you're never gonna use them, you just might.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I imagine, like someone's like, when am I ever going to use a masonry or a stonecutter kit or a stonework kit? And they would have been like, yes, this is my time.
I've been training my whole life for this moment.
Yeah, it made me double check my stuff. I have like cooking utensils and a poisoner's kit.
Oh my gosh, you have a poisoner's kit?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. You could probably make poisons for Timothy's daggers if we want to get into that route.
Oh my god.
Yes, please.
That would be dope. Oh my gosh.
I think you have some potential unwilling participants for which to extract a venomous spit from in our next session.
So I think you have proficiency, Flowerkraut, in a poisoner's kit, but in your inventory, you don't technically have one. However, the mortar and pestle act as a poisoner's kit by itself. So you are very much you're capable of making, the potions, like, there's the experimental stuff that Flowerkraut wants to go into, like taking one of Timothy's feathers and making like a featherfall potion. So you could use the mortar and pestle to do exactly that. Start making a poison during the day instead of a healing potion or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that's right. We almost kind of treaded in that territory when we had the frogs around and I was like using their skin goo.
Yeah.
So we had like a hallucinogenic healing potion. Feeling trippy.
That would be a trip. I gotta say, Aaron, this one's for you. We're so used to like vocally being these characters and like talking and have them having voice, but you're able to put so much depth to Bernice's character without having her speak a word, and that is really impressive in my mind.
Thanks.
Like, she feels like a fully fleshed out character, yet like she's like a mime. Well, she's not a mime, but she don't talk.
She's got a lot of personality that comes through, and then you're giving yourself even more on your plate as a kind of like as a theater of the mind crafter by giving yourself a bunch of Kenku that also can't talk in a traditional way either.
That's a good point. Like, not only do we have a character in our party that's communicating via physicality or just noises, we're literally in an entire room filled with similar characters. So that's going to make for a really interesting session next time we record. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Communication is going to be a little interesting as we get into this. But you did hear the Gila monster people were talking in common, and you could see that they have developed a way to communicate with the Kenku. But yeah, it's going to be fun because we're not going to have traditional conversations going on for some of these characters. The other thing I wanted to kind of, I guess, reinforce about Bernice is, Califran is the speaker of the apostleship, at least that crew, and that all the disciples they don't speak, they only use their voice for strikes. It doesn't come off, and I'm not sure if I portray it well enough, but it doesn't come off as though they feel restricted by not being able to use their voice. They don't see frustration when they can't say something because they're so easily able to use the chime to do so. But it's really more of a faith thing for them that they have learned that technique where their voice has to be reserved. And so they willingly do it. It's not like they're being silenced, I guess, is where I'm going with that.
I think that comes off very well. It seems to give them power, and they're reserving that power, and they all have a very strong trust with each other, which is very cool.
Yeah, I think that the only reason Sherman's hung up on it is because he doesn't know how to communicate like that, so he's flustered. And the last time, well, not the last time, but the last memory or false memory or dream he had, he's still thinking about that moment, and it's holding heavy in his mind. I don't know how to handle myself around this person right now.
I'm sure it's different for Sherman as well, because Sherman knew Bernice when she was talking, when she when communicating with her was just a conversation, and so it's probably a little bit more awkward for him.
Yeah, he knew her from before, and he doesn't know currently what led her to this path.
Yeah, I know it was after our finals, and we had our graduation party, and we all went our separate ways. After that, it was like Stand By Me. There was a bunch of Kenkus going jump 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 jump.
Oh, this would be the perfect time for a musical episode. Let's get that in the works.
Okay. Yeah, Rory, you hear that? It's time.
We need 10-year-old Sherman to be like, and Timothy learned a lot that day. Boom, boom, boom.
I also imagine for a character like Sherman, he's so hard on the sleeve, overly vocal, because he seems like the type of character that wants to make sure that his point gets across in the correct way. So sometimes he'll over communicate to make sure that point is firmly understood. And now he's faced with someone that he's probably used to still communicating like that with, and now can't do it the same. So you kind of have these two polar opposites, where one has the reserved way of talking and one has the over communication. So that's why I love these two together so much, and was so excited that Bernice was going to be a part of the crew for this outing. But I think from a narrative standpoint, it's really adorable, and I love every second of it.
I love it too.
Thank you.
And I also love Califran.
I was just gonna say Califran is so
silly
awkward.
Fanboy.
This man that is supposed to be almost this symbol of peace, just and here's the way things are, I'm here for a purpose. And he's just so flabbergasted and fanboy that it's so funny. The whole bit with him in the crow's nest with us was what the frick is happening right now?
I'm getting a very nice Frollo. Nice Frollo when faced with Esmeralda. That's what I'm getting.
Califran is a total simp for Miriam, and so
yes.
And
as soon as we no longer have the spark inside of us, we're completely uninteresting to him.
Exactly.
What is it? The apostle simp? It's what do you say? These hags have more?
Oh boy.
Please don't make him a bad boy. We have enough bad boys. So on the note of the blah 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 of the crow's nest, I know we talked about it a couple of times. That is my fan art moment for me.
Oh.
Does everybody
when we all smash
in
together?
There? Yeah. It's that awkward, do I put my hand here?
And eventually Timothy's just hiding directly underneath the crow's nest.
Oh, I have two in mind. One is Timothy being a duck with his butt in the air in the water.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It's just so funny and stupid. And I just picture the most simple, dumb drawing of that. I'm so excited. And he's trying to talk while still underwater and his butt is in the air.
I think my moment was when Sherman's like got the stuff ready to start working on the damaged hull, and he's looking down, and there's big flower crown face icing it up underwater.
How's it going?
Oh, I love it.
He sticks his head in the water.
I just like
he
to
stuck his head
imagine
in
he
the
just
water.
sticks his snout into the water.
So cute.
Yeah, I mean that's totally like a dog thing that they would do. Like, oh hey, you're in there? Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a second one as well. I'm sorry to interrupt, but my second fan art moment. I was watching Lego Batman before we hopped on.
I love that movie.
Fun.
I freaking love that movie. It's so good. There's this moment where Batman or Bruce Wayne sees Barb for the first time. It's like, oh, I just died in your arms.
And all they like shift the light leaks in the cameras to be the shape of hearts.
Yes, it has the hearts. Everything around her goes fuzzy, and she's like in focus. And his face is just like, oh, and that I just want to do a Califran Doki Doki face like that.
You made Califran roll for Doki Doki. I loved it so much.
Who else? Okay, who else needs to give a fan art moment?
Shoot, you all picked some really, really stinking good ones. I don't know. I think the three of them in the crow's nest was pretty funny to me. I think I would have to also throw that one into the ring.
Timothy watching soap operas is fun too.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I tried to drop that hint that like most of his life beyond the spending time with the flock when they were in a town, like all of his social interactions were from the outside. It was very like a Peter Pan thing. Like
It's so sad.
can't go
Aw.
inside, but that's what I was trying to allude to at least.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like one of I'm just imagining this is just a Dustin headcanon at this point, but one of Timothy's Kenku phrases was like, "Go away, I'm watching my stories." like he heard it from some like mom or like grandma or something somewhere, and he just stuck with it.
No, absolutely.
I
I referenced Days of Our Lives when he was up in the crow's nest. So
I also
they're so
liked,
young and restless.
I liked when Timothy goes flying off the crow's nest and then Feather falls himself, so he's still moving in that direction, but just slow now. It's like he's like
Everyone
help?
was like, "We're gonna catch the captain. We're gonna catch the captain." I'm like, "Cool."
Help!
Why won't anybody help?
I still love the idea of like Sherman was jet skiing or water skiing like half our trip. That was funny.
Well, imagine how hard it would be to actually pull someone in that's actively skiing behind the boat. Like the amount of strain, like what would happen to that person, like as they're being pulled both behind the boat and against the water. It's like you would just go bouncing around and flopping against the waves. You just be completely out of control. And I imagine they since they can't stop, they're trying to get away. They're like, we have no choice. We just need to pull Sherman in, you know?
Wait, I had my Drax moment.
Yeah.
You
are yes.
Drax.
This is awesome!
Again.
That's
my
100%
God.
what that was. And bringing the harness back, I can't believe we didn't realize this before last episode, but we put Sherman in a leash and harness situation, and we didn't even try or like do it on purpose, you know? That just happened.
Like just you being attached to the rope the entire time.
A dog.
Yeah.
We put a dog on a harness and a leash, and we didn't even know we were doing it.
He went for a walk. It just happened to be off the side of a ship and in the
Yep.
ocean, but a walk he did go on.
Time for walkies. Time for walkies.
I hope one day we're on an airship so we can try that again.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
We'll straight up do tailspin.
Do. Oh my gosh.
Sherman's dream can come true. The flying ship.
I don't know when we'll be on the story arc again, but oh my goodness, I will do everything in my power to make Kenku acapella group like a reality.
I think that is hilarious where you're like, you've got the Kenku acapella group and then they all make the record scratch sound at the same time.
I just imagine it's going to be like terrifying. Was that in the first Incredibles? I'm going to reference another. We're going to reference another cartoon in this, where they were looking at a bird while they were on the island. And that bird was like an alarm, and like they were like, that doesn't look right, and it opens up its mouth and just like has this horrendous alarm noise go off. I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen next.
Voice key incorrect.
I feel like Aaron listened to me when I was just like, I would love if we ran into a marketplace because Timothy's holding on to a sack of gold that he would love to spend some shinies to receive some shinies. And he's like, oh, sure, I'm going to make that happen, but not in the way you think it's going to happen.
Oh, I was actually smirking when you were saying that because I was like, yep. Just you wait, buddy.
Oh, Chad, you should share what Timothy's proposed armor would be if we didn't go into a bazaar or a marketplace.
I forgot how that conversation started, but we have like our group chat that we go into throughout the week. But I was mentioning it would be great to get some armor. But then, Janelle, I think you said like Timothy wouldn't want to give up his shinies. And I was just like, but he would give up shinies to get something larger and shiny.
Oh, yeah, I think I suggested that because he wouldn't have to give up his gold, but he'd still get the armor. Yeah.
He just glues the coins onto his shirt and it's armor now.
Gold scale armor.
And then someone else said, I think we're about to get robbed. Why
is everyone looking at you, Timothy?
Yeah, I hope no one has anything on their person of extreme value because I don't know how long we're going to keep it.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Sherman still literally has just the stuff he has on him. And has had $0 or 0 gold or silver or copper pieces since day one. So he's just riding on the coattails of being a virtuous good boy.
Every situation you guys have really been in thus far, people have catered to you because of what you guys have either done for them or, the scenario just kind of was that you were being taken care of. This might be the first time, in 13 episodes that you guys aren't being revered. No one knows who the hell you are, so you're going to have to pay for things for once.
But I imagine dropping like a gold alone is going to like turn some heads because like the value, D&D monetary value is pretty wild. So like I don't have any coppers or silvers. I just have gold. So I'm like almost scared to like even hint that I have gold.
Yeah, a gold piece is basically like a $10 bill.
Okay.
Silver is like $1 and coppers are pennies. Or well, a little copper is a little bit more worth more than a penny, but it's like a dime, I guess.
Because like you can pay
10.
Okay, all right. For some reason, I thought the values were more.
But still, that means you're carrying around what, like $1,500 on you.
I'm not
so
telling
it's
you.
like
Hopefully you don't remember.
No one heard that.
I had someone do a commission of Flowerkraut's inventory, so I'm going to be very sad if you remove any items from it.
Really?
Yeah, it has the that was
remember
that
it has the bone toothbrush in it.
Yes. Don't take away my toothbrush.
Oh,
it's just a bone.
Yeah, that's a sacred artifact.
Not my brandy.
Yeah, not brandy, but my brandy.
But yeah,
not that brandy either.
the commission has the mortar and pestle. What?
I said it's the toothbrush of arcane plaque removal.
Yep. Yeah, the commission has the mortar and pestle. It has her book of spells, and it has a dagger called Whalethorn, which she has not used at all yet because no one's gotten close enough and to warrant that.
No one can get close enough to Flowercraft.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, she has a wall of stink.
Not to mention that now that mirror image, it's like everyone who gets close, haha, joke's on you. That's an image of me.
That mirror image spell is so clutch. Oh my gosh.
It's very useful for how weak Flowercraft is.
I think the only threat for the fishbone necklace would be Sherman, but I think he understands only a bad boy would chew on that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel like we probably had a conversation about that at some point. It's like, I already chewed on your drapes, and then
yes. Oh yeah.
You don't got a lot left, so I'll leave the rest of your accessories alone.
Well, I am excited to get further into Glavio, and you guys learning more about who these Kenku and these Gila monster lizard men are.
Me too.
And what Tumbleweed's whole deal is.
Cute name.
Lots to come with.
I don't know, but I'm inheriting a little brother. I'm gonna die trying.
Lots to come with the next episode for sure.
I'm
looking forward to it.
Excited for that.
And we get to do a shopping spree.
Well, I think we can give Timothy a break wrapping us up, and we can just ask the a cappella group to sing us out.
All right.
Oh, joy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to our Song of Rest. If you like the adventures your ears just wit on, feel free to listen in on our other adventures from any plane of existence or seeing stone you get your podcasts. Until we meet again, safe journeys, travelers.
Winds with you, BB Army, broken winds notwithstanding. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Break, Battle, and Roll. We hope you're enjoying our adventure as much as we are in creating it. If you're looking for more ways to connect with Break, Battle, and Roll, follow our Instagram and Twitter, both at Break, Battle, Roll, or stop by and give us a like on the Break, Battle, and Roll Facebook page. Or if following the individual nerds is more your thing, you can follow Chad Stafford on his Instagram and Twitter at It's Chit Chad, as well as his YouTube channels, Chit Chad and Chit Chad Plays. You can follow me, Janelle Wilkie, on my Instagram at janelle.wilkie, or you can join Dustin Bleschmidt as he streams on twitch.tv/thefinaldestination. And follow his Instagram and TikTok, both at _final_destination. And his Twitter at FINL_destination. You can also find our beloved barkeep and dungeon daddy, Aaron Rollins, on Twitter at Arkuma, that's AARKUMA. We must also sing the praises of our amazing musicians, Ben Holland and Rory O'Neill, who provided our theme song and many of the original musical scores in the podcast. Ben can be found on SoundCloud, and you can follow Rory on Twitter at Trench Warfare. Now that you're part of the BB Army, we'd love your help in spreading the word throughout the realm. Sharing our podcast with friends and writing reviews helps a young podcast like ours so much. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go pester the barkeep for another drink. Until next time.